Hello, this is Wendy from Taichi, the Way of Life. If you want to find me on Facebook, and it is Wendy Chan Taichi. Down there's a word subscribe. If you would subscribe, that would be lovely. Alright, okay. This is something that I do before I start any of my forms, just to get my mind in the right place, to make me focus, to help me to aware of my body, make sure that I have lined up my back, my neck, I am rooting, I am sinking, and it makes me start to circulate my qi before I actually start my forms. And of course, in the morning I would have done my meditation. So this is just a video to show that this is something not just I don't always just do this, but basically I just do something very, very simple just to get my sun, so that I'm not thinking about other things or what I need to do, and my yi to put my body in the right place, so that I encourage a qi flow, basically just opening up my body where it's supposed to be empty. It's empty, so empty chest and nice relaxed shoulders and big back. Yes, okay, and I sink and I open my hip flexors and I decompresses my spine. Alright, okay, so enough talking. So this is what I actually... Right, so this is what I am about to do. So I just go into a slightly wider stance than I normally would. And then once I'm into my stance, I soften my knees, and then I tilt my tailbone so that I could sink, and just making sure that my tailbone it sink into my heels, or it feels it sink into my heels. And then I just do something very, very simple, because what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to focus on making sure that my body is actually in the right place, so that my spine is in a neutral spine position, and I focus on just feeling what it feels like having my spine in those positions before I start my forms. And then of course I watch where my arms are, whether my shoulders are nice and relaxed, and all the time breathing into my stomach, making sure that the chest is empty. I like to make it feel it's empty. Something I've learned recently, which I actually never thought of, is not to shrink the back. I know about not decompressing the spine, lengthening my spine, so important to think about being at the same time when I'm sinking into my heels with my tailbone. I am also lifting from my crown. I think that's what I'm talking about there. So you've got your yin and yang there. So I'm sinking, and that's my yang, and then I've got my yin actually, and then my yang is when I'm lifting from the crown, and it helps me to completely try or working towards being very song, completely song, and lots going on in my stance, so I'm not going to say that my legs not working. My legs are really working, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to completely
relax my upper body, so that it's opened up to allow qi to flow, and that's the main reason. And how then I can transfer what I'm feeling in my body now. That's my spine's in the right place, my neck is in the right place, my arms are in the right place, how my stance feel, and how to maintain in this particular posture, and transfer it into my forms, and still able to do all that while I'm moving about in my forms. Another thing that is important, and which I'm pointing to it, is the hip flexors. And I also read someone in another post saying about when you kick, if you tighten your torso, you don't kick as well, or you're a bit stiff, so you've got no power. You're actually restricting your own power, which is, I quite agree with that. So it's the same with the hip flexors. A lot of force and power can come from having a relaxed, open hip flexors. So if they are tight, you're restricting a lot of power and a lot of movement. I've done lots of videos about hip flexors and how to open them and how to so they're not tight, because they can get tight. So I just point. So if you can feel it when it's tight, because when you poke it in that area, it's rock solid. So when you tighten it, when you're not relaxed, it's rock solid. So you just have to find it where when you poke it, it's no longer rock solid, but it's actually soft. All right, it's like there is a hole there. And here I'm just probably just feeling that circle in the front, and just feeling the energy in between my hands. It's quite a nice feeling. After a while, I just feel heavy, as if I'm holding a big meatball. But anyway, I think that's all I'm going to talk about. I know this video goes on a little bit longer, but all right, yes. So I focus on also just taking my chin underneath and putting my tongue on the top there. All right. So I think I've got something to talk to you about here. To close this, I shall leave you to it.
Inside, I'm thinking about my skeleton, mainly my spine and my shoulders, my hands, and where my elbows are. Not tightening up, like tensing up at all. Basically, I'm just trying to relax my body as much as possible. And by relaxing my body, my upper body, the legs works really hard because I need to sink. But I've been told that after a while I get used to it. I mean, I have sat in that position. I'm just looking at my counter, my video counter, and it say that I've done almost 9 minutes of recording. So I guess I sat there for about a while, probably about 6-7 minutes, because I spoke a little and I spoke a bit at the end. So that's so I'm just trying to focus my sun in order to have that yi to actually to put my body in the right place before qi will actually flow. And so I do take a bit of time just to do that, and then I go and practice some qigong. I might start to do some qigong, although that was qigong. So and then my forms were my Tai Chi Chuan, and I try and transfer that same body position while I'm moving about, and of course that's not easy to do, and I'm still trying to learn it. Anyway, so that's, I hope you enjoyed it. You could try. Maybe you do very, very similar things and you like to share with me, and we can just share information. Okay, thank you for watching again, and it is Wendy from Tai Chi, The Way of Life, if that's where you want to find me on Facebook. So thank you, and bye for now, and God bless.